Merry meet! Today we're going to do a talisman for a perfect mate. So this is if you're going to draw a perfect mate to you, or if you already have your perfect mate, to renew and refresh your relationship. This is a love talisman. So we need a square of pink paper, or if you just have white, that's fine. And I like to use a green pencil, although a lot of times I will just work in the regular black pencil and color it in later, depending on how complex it is. Now this talisman requires a little drawing, and I'm not a drawer, I'm not an artist, so if I can do it and get results, anybody can. So the first thing we want to do is find the center of our sheet of paper. So I just measure across diagonally and find that center point, and then I'll just make a little dot. And I've got my little green pencil here already in my compass. And then I use that as my center point, and then I just draw a small circle. It doesn't have to be real big. Small circle in the center of this paper. So I'm going to now take my protractor, and I'm going to act like I'm drawing a pentagram. So that's just every 72 degrees. I'm going to make a little mark. So it's not technically a pentagram, but you'll see in a moment what it turns out to be. So we want to have that as if it's a 5-pointed star. So we just go around the circle with our protractor and just make a little mark at every 72 degrees. So once we are finished with that, marking those, then what we have to do is we will have to take our ruler and pull those rays in to the actual circle. And we just do that by lining up that center dot with the original ray and then just making another little mark right in the same line. Now we're going to act like it's going to be an inverted pentagram, but it's not, I promise you. But we want the point facing downward. And then we're going to take our green pencil or pen or whatever you're using, and we're going to make little arrows pointing in toward the center of the circle at each of the points of what would be a pentagram if we joined those lines. So just little simple arrows pointing toward the center of the circle at each of those 5 points. And again, your artistic ability is not that important. If I can do this, anybody can do this. I have a lot of talents, but drawing is not one of them. And that's okay. Doesn't make it any less magical. All right? So now you've got those 5 arrows. So we want to make sure that the top of the pentagram, if you will, is on the bottom. And now we make these little curves on each of those points. Little baby curves. And it will all make sense in a moment. And now we are going to join each of those curves with another curve. So it's a series of curves, one going one way and the other going the other way, just like this. See, it's not really a pentagram. It's more of a petal configuration. It's like little petals almost. Once you've joined all 5, then you want to make sure that you find that point downward, just like this. And you can erase that pencil from the middle. We're going to actually color it in a little bit with the green so that it's not black. So we're just going to color it in with a little green dot there. Just like that. And now we just add these little petals right here, these little I don't know how else to describe them. They look like little petals. Just like this. Here we go. Around and around. We join these. And there we have it. That's that center figure on the talisman. All right. And now we're going to turn this into a Venus symbol. And then I'm going to do my best to draw some semblance of a chalice up here. If you're artistic, that's great. You can make them look like real chalices. And if you're not, don't worry. It has absolutely no effect on the effectiveness of the talisman, how good of an artist you are. But we want some representation of 2 chalices on those 2 points. Now within the right-hand chalice, we want to put in the symbol for Taurus. And then on this one, it's the symbol for Libra. Those are the 2 signs that Venus rules. Now we're going to put the sign for Cancer right up on the top here. And that's the other force that we are invoking, that lunar force. Now I'm going to put the symbol for Venus on the four corners of this talisman. And you can see how it's just shaping up already. All right, then we want I want to get a little border in here, and I just like this little, just dotted line almost that I just put all the way around the talisman. And you don't want to close it off like some talismans. You don't want it to be a closed talisman. You want to keep it open. But we do like a little border just to confirm to our deep mind that the energy is focused, it is directed, but it's not closed. Sometimes we want a closed talisman if we're trying to trap something in our mind, but right now we're not trying to trap something in our mind. We're actually trying to open our minds and open ourselves to our perfect mate. You want to just keep that in your mind as you're doing this talisman. Now flip it over and sign your name on the back. Now you don't want to name someone. You're not trying to say this is my perfect mate. You're drawing your perfect mate according to infinite intelligence. Okay, so you're not naming anybody. You're just putting your name. But I'm going to put everybody's name in here, all of yours. All right, now we are going to take some rose perfume. You can use rose oil. I'm using this Coswell Mozzie Beatrix. It's the Beatrix Rose. It's lovely. And I'm just going to put 3 sprays on here. But like I said, if you have a rose oil or a love oil that you want to use, that's fine. You can use that instead. I just like these spray perfumes. Now we're just going to use a candle. You can use pink or green or white are the colors best for this. And we'll just give it a light. And then I'm gonna, after I get this lit, I'm gonna take some salt and I'm gonna place a ring of salt around the candle right on top of the talisman. And then a ring of rose petals around there as well. You can use dried like I have here, or if you have some fresh rose petals, those are fabulous as well. And then you're just going to let this candle burn down and out all by itself. Always remember to put it out if you have to leave the premises and relight it when you return, never leaving a candle unattended. And once it's burned down and out, you can dispose of the rose petals and salt. You can use them in potpourri if you'd like. And if you have your perfect mate showing up, then it's done. If not, burn a new candle every new moon until your perfect mate does show up. Thank you so much for being with me today. It's been my pleasure. Until next time, blessed be.